Hi dear students, welcome to Akshar IIT Foundation, class 9 mathematics. So in this session, let us discuss a topic from number system, types of numbers. Let's see. So real numbers. Real numbers are the numbers which can be represented on the number line, and real numbers further classified into rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are nothing but a number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p comma q are integers and q not equal to 0. And irrational numbers we cannot express in the form of p by q, and we can say them as non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. And rational numbers further divided into non-negative or non-integer rational numbers and integers. And integers further divided into negative numbers and whole numbers. And whole numbers further divided into 0 and natural numbers. Are there any other type of numbers which we have not looked at? Yes, let us see. So what is the answer for my question? Before I answer the question, I'd like to put one more question to you. Which number square gives you 4? Yes, 2 or minus 2. So 2 square is 4, minus 2 square is also 4. Which number square gives 9? 3 or minus 3. Which number square gives 5? Yes, root 5 or minus root 5. Root 5 square is 5, minus root 5 square is also 5. Then, which number square gives minus 1? Which number square gives minus 1? Consider the number x. X square is equal to minus 1. Then x is equal to under root minus 1. What's the value of negative root? In math we can say it is not defined. Once we recall the quadratic equations, so x square plus 1 is equal to 0. Here a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0 and c is equal to 1. To get the values, we will take the formula minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. So substitute in this minus b minus 0 plus or minus 0 square minus 4 into 1 by 2 into 1. So what we get here, plus or minus or under root minus 4 by 2. We get the discriminant b square minus 4ac value as negative, that is minus 4 we are getting here. And we say that no real roots. We conclude here no real roots. Then what kind of roots it have? So no real roots in the sense what type of roots it is having. So that is the topic we are doing today, that is they are having imaginary roots. They are having imaginary roots. Let's see what is the value of under root minus 4 or under root minus 1. We will check it. So what are imaginary numbers? Imaginary numbers are nothing but square roots of negative numbers. The answer for this question under root minus 1 under root minus 4, the square roots of negative numbers are called as imaginary numbers. In 18th century, mathematician named Euler was defined this I, that is I square. Okay, so I square is equal to minus 1. The mathematician Euler gave the square root of negative 1 and he defined a symbol I, which is called as iota, I square is equal to minus 1 or I is equal to under root minus 1. That means I is represented as the square root of minus 1. Now we got the solution for our question? Yes. Let's come back once. So here is a question, under root minus 1, under root minus 4. X is equal to under root minus 1, we will write simply as I, and x is equal to under root minus 4. We will separate under root minus 1 into under root 4. Under root minus 1 is the I, under root 4 is 2. We get the imaginary number 2i. 2i further called as complex numbers. Okay, let's see more clearly the definition of imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers are the numbers that the result is a negative number when it was squared. Imaginary numbers are nothing but the square root of negative numbers. An imaginary number is the product of non-zero real number and the imaginary unit I. Just now I said no, imaginary unit I. That means 2I, 3I, 4I, like that. The product of a non-zero real number and the imaginary unit I. And the rule for imaginary numbers is defined as I square is equal to minus 1 or I is equal to under root minus 1. Hope you're following. Let's do one more question like x square plus 1 is equal to 0. Just now we have defined x square is equal to minus 1 and x is equal under root minus 1. We will write as I. Okay, then let me expand according to this rule. I square is equal to minus 1. I will expand this one. I is equal to I power 0 is equal to anything power 0 is 1 and I power 1. I power 1 is I and I square as per the definition is minus 1. I power 3 is equal to I into I square, which is I into minus 1 is equal to minus I. What is I power 4? I power 4 is equal to I into I power 3, that is I into minus I. We will get minus I square, that is minus into minus 1 is plus 1. Now I want the value of I power 100, I power 2000 or I power 3000. Like these values I want. What shall we do? We can't expand like this many. So here we have to follow your rule. Let's see that rule what we follow to expand this. I power 100, I power 999, I power 2000. All this will get very simply. Let me write that rule here. So the rule is I power n is equal to I power r. Here r is the remainder when n is divided by 4. R is the remainder when n is divided by 4. Let me write an example here. Just now I have written I power 100 value is what? I power 100 value, just 100 divided with 4. What is the remainder you will get? You will get 0. Okay. Then the answer is I power 0. I power 0 is 1. Let me write I power like 25. I power 25. If I divide 25 with 4, what is the remainder I will get? 1. That is equal to I power 1. The answer is I. Okay. Let's do some more questions here. So find the values of 3I square, I power 101, I power minus 199. Hope you understand the concept. Concept is very simple. Imaginary numbers are nothing but square roots of negative numbers. That's it. Square roots of negative 1. Here defined as I square is equal to minus 1. This is the rule we follow. Like rational numbers. What is the rule we follow in the rational numbers? The number should be in the form of p by q and p comma q should be integer and q naught is equal to 0. Like this we have to follow. The imaginary number I square is equal to minus 1 and I is equal to under root minus 1. Okay, let me write first question. 3I square is equal to 1. We will write 3I into 3I. That means 9I square. I square value is how much? Minus 1 is minus 9. Then second question. I power 101, just now we checked. I power n is equal to I power r. R is the remainder when n is divided by 4. So if I divide 101 with 4, what I will get? The remainder is 1. So the answer is I power 1 is equal to I. And then third question, I power minus 199. So that I will write it as 1 by I power 199 since it is having the negative power according to law of integers. Okay. So 199 should be divided with 4. What is the remainder I will get? Yes, I will get the remainder 3 here. So that 1 by I power 199 is equal to I power 3. Then what is the value of I power 3? Just now we have defined I power 3 is nothing but I into I square is equal to I into minus 1 is equal to minus I. Let me write it here. 1 by minus I. That is minus 1 by I. Since I is in the denominator, we shall multiply and divide with I, like rationalizing. Okay. So multiply and divide with I, we will get minus I by I square. In the denominator, we got I square. What is the value of I square? Minus 1. Okay. Minus I by minus 1, minus minus cancel. We get the value I power 101 is I power 190 minus 199 is also I. Okay, so hope you followed. The numbers, imaginary numbers are nothing but the square root of -1. That's it. So simple concept. Imaginary numbers and numbers together we can call as complex numbers. In further classes we can study about these complex numbers and all. Hope you followed. Thank you.